Welcome back to Down the Lineup. Today, I'm here with my co-host Sunny and guest Sanha, back for another time. Um, so today we're gonna be doing our 1 month awards, but before that, let's recap last week. So the Padres they split with the Rockies. Padres being my lock of the week, so it's a wash there. Um, your upset pick of the week was the Astros over the Cubs, and that one didn't go so well. The Astros were swept by the Cubs. Um, my upset pick was the Padres over the Phillies, and that one also didn't go too well, as the Padres also swept by the Phillies. So, any quick thoughts between the two Padres series and the Astros series?
At least it's at least we're getting like balanced, games like teams are winning all throughout. I mean, I guess it's like on one hand, like I'd like my prediction to be right, but on the other hand, it's nice to see everyone winning. It's more balanced, more entertaining to watch.
Any thoughts?
Yeah. Uh, I saw the end of the one of the Padres games against the Rockies, and they blew a pretty big lead. Pretty brutal way for the Padres to split with the Rockies there. I think they were up like I don't know, like by 7 or 8 runs or something like that, and then they just blew it. So that's pretty tough to see. But you know, yeah.
Yeah. A quick hitter of the Astros. They're up to tough start. They did go to Mexico and sweep the two-game series against the Rockies, which I mean, I guess that's a positive coming out of
Yeah,
the
this guy Jordan decides that he wants to be superhuman in Mexico.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mexico is like actually broken. I mean, if you look at like the numbers like on these homers is actually insane. Like every homer is at least like 450 feet.
He's playing a video game at that point.
Yeah. I mean the altitude is just like it takes that ball and
Yeah.
like it's like cores on steroids.
Like everyone has the clear for takeoff perk on.
And then a couple of big series. The Braves, they took 2 out of 3 versus the Guardians. A little battle of the top teams in each league. And then the Yankees took 2 out of 3 against the Brewers. So our two, big series of the week from last week. Um, one taken by the NL, one taken by the AL. Yeah, just something like that. Like I think the Yankees, they put on some runs in the last two games of the series. The offense was like it wasn't clicking, and the scoring 15 runs in back-to-back games. Hopefully that gets like Judge back on track. A couple of the hitters, getting out of their slumps, and then the Braves, they continue to look like top tier NL contenders, and it doesn't look like starters, being missed right now in the regular season at least. We'll see how that works out in the postseason.
I mean, the Braves are still the number one ranked team in the MLB on defense,
Mhm.
and they still have a firepower offense, even with Acuna slowing down, which I'm sure he's likely to heat up. So,
Yeah,
seem like they're missing him too much.
yeah. Any thoughts?
Um, I didn't really watch much of that, I'm not gonna lie. Um, but yeah, Braves are being the Braves. Um, Yankees are being Yankees,
Yeah,
teams are playing good.
What a take!
Um,
What a
that's just
take!
baseball.
That's
Um,
just baseball.
yeah. All right, we can get to our player of the week and the team of the week. So for your player of the week, who'd you have?
Wait, player of the week?
Player of the week, yeah.
I got Anthony Rizzo.
Mhm.
I didn't know we were in 2016 still, but yes, Anthony Rizzo is our player of the week. This guy's hitting 407 the past week, 25 total bases with 4 home runs, 429 on base percentage. I mean, really picking it up for the Yankees.
Yeah, that was my player of the week too. I just think, Rizzo being like the middle lineup force that he is really kind of connects together this Yankees lineup. We saw Judge, get off to a little slow start. He got back on track, and then Rizzo, did not get off to the start he wanted, but against the Brewers, he was really able to like, bring it back to the Cubs days where he killed the Brewers in Milwaukee. Yeah, just great week for Rizzo, and hopefully that gets him back on track.
yeah. My player of the week was actually Alec Bohm. over his 30 at bats in the last 7 days, he hit 567 with a 581 on base percentage. He had 28 total bases and he had 8 RBIs. He had 1 homer, but I mean, he's just been hitting everything, and the Phillies have been doing good. Um, it's nice to see Alec Boehm doing good. I know, like, he was literally getting like he like said he like hated Philly or something like that like a couple years ago. So yeah, good to see him doing good.
Yeah, I think I mean, just kind of like commenting on Bohm, the series against San Diego, I think he really like broke out. I mean, even in the Cincy series, he was decent, but I think in that 4 game weekend series, um, Bohm was like I think he had like 10 hits, 11 hits. Um, yeah, and I think like he kind of he showed like the offensive force that he was. We know he's not a defensive guy, and when he's making errors, like Sana said, we caught him saying he hated Philly. But when he's playing the way like he is now, I guarantee you, Philly doesn't hate him. He doesn't hate Philly.
Outstanding take.
We can go to our team of the week. Sonny, who'd you have?
I have the Seattle Mariners
Let's
who are
go.
who have who have a game lead in first place right now. Pitching is clicking, hitting is getting better. Just gonna ignore the fact that we left bases loaded and didn't score in the eighth inning today. You know, my king, my glorious sunshine king, Mitch Garver, you know, took that 3-2 off speed down the middle, absolutely kick slapped it over left field. Yeah, we're back. We're
Yeah,
so back.
that was an amazing, amazing atmosphere.
Yeah,
Mariners
with
starting
on a
pitching.
Monday night.
They have allowed 18 earned runs in their last 17 starts, which is insane. I mean,
Mhm.
that's literally a little over 1 run per game. I mean, and they've just constantly been giving the Mariners chances to win games. Games, it's just a matter of if their offense can actually score.
Yeah, I mean, we see a lot of more 3-2 counts with the offense for sure.
Yeah,
Not
they've definitely.
swinging at first pitch off speed
Yeah.
as much either.
Um, the Mariners, they've been getting destroyed by sliders. I mean, their amount of sliders they strike out on is actually insane.
I
I don't
mean,
know. They got to do something about that because we can't. I can't. I don't know if I can handle more players with like sub 200 averages.
I mean, even today, like I think I counted maybe 6 sliders down the middle in just like the eighth inning alone,
Yeah.
and they didn't hit a single one. Like they were all swings and misses. I mean, I don't know if we're just so timed up for fastball that, like we just forgot how to hit an off speed or something.
I mean, they're all
But
they're all looking like King of Juco out there. Too hard and
getting
chasing hitters.
folded.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I mean, over the first 3 weeks of the season, the Mariners, we thought they were gonna be on that early season slump that they was go on. But they've won four of the last. They won the last four series. It's just like they haven't like really been able to put away teams other than the Reds. Um, and on the week they went 4-2. I think it could have been a 5-1 week. Just couldn't hit in the last few innings against Arizona. But yeah, Mariners are hot right now and they're in first place. Sona, who'd you have for your team of the week?
I had the Minnesota Twins. They've won, I believe, 8 games in a row, and even though they played, I think the Whites not yeah, they played the White Sox, and I think they played the Angels, which obviously aren't very strong teams. I mean, they still 8 in a row. I mean, that is that's impressive nevertheless. They're doing their job. Their pitching's doing good. Their offense is doing good. Um, yeah, I know they got off to a really slow start, but they're turning around just like the Mariners have recently.
And then for my team of the week, I had the Atlanta Braves. 5-1 on the week. Took care of business against Miami. Took the sweep, and then took 2 out of 3 against the Guardians, the best team in the AL. So I mean, we kind of mentioned them earlier, but the Braves are, they're still the Braves. They're still, a disgusting lineup, and then they still got the pitching. They're not like Strider's not their only guys like arms and pitching. Um, yeah, we kind of already commented on the Braves. So we can get into like the preview for next week. Who do you guys have for the series of the week? Sana, you can go first.
I had the Braves and the Dodgers, which goes from Friday to Sunday. I mean that's like just that's set up to be a classic series. You got two powerhouse NL teams. They play in the NLDS, NLCS, and I mean we're expecting a lot of intense battles. Um, yeah, I mean, if we look at last year, I think when they played each other, there's a whole MVP race between Acuna and Betts going on, and that was very exciting to see. So I'm expecting another great series. Um, I think I want to say the Dodgers will take that one. I think their offense is just too good.
I mean, Shohei and Mookie combined are like leading the freaking league and everything. So,
I think I think the Dodgers top like their top four in their lineup are all like top they're like the top five in batting average, like
well,
on
Will
base and
Smith is
slugging,
hitting
something
like
like that.
above. Yeah, Will Smith is
That's
hitting above
insane.
300. Freddie
Yeah.
Freeman's been hitting like 468 over his like last seven or something like that, with like 8 walks too.
Yeah.
Mookie's hitting like 360 something, right? And Shohei,
I think he was in 370 or something like that.
yeah, and like Shohei is like 340 or something like that. Yeah, how do you beat that?
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. Sonny, what do you think about? What do you have for your series of the week?
Got the Mariners and the Braves,
Yeah.
who I'm just gonna say it now. Like they're also I have the Mariners upsetting the Braves because technically that would be considered an upset. I mean, I know it's like a little biased because I'm a Mariners fan, but I mean, watching that game today, game one, that was electric.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was it was a Monday game, and I could hear the crowd still. Like it's crazy. I mean, just dominant pitching for 7 innings. Really nail biting offense in the end. Um, the Mariners should have taken care of business, but they love drama, so we'll just chalk it up as that. But I got that.
Yeah, to comment on that series, I think it's really strength on strength. Last year we saw the Braves have historical offensive production, and then this Mariners team this year is having like historical pitching production.
Yeah.
So it's gonna come down to can the Mariners score enough runs and can the Mariners pitching like slow down the Braves enough. And I think kind of going to your upset pick a little bit, but I think if the Mariners can muster up like I'd say 3 runs in a game, I think you got to be really confident with the guys going that you can take the series. Anything on
Anything
that?
else? No.
No? Okay.
No.
And then for my series of the week, I have the Yankees Orioles. This is also a little biased, but it's the battle. It's going to be a battle for first place. And Baltimore was best team in the AL last year, and they're back on top, towards the top right now. And then the Yankees with this new team, kind of like new energy. They're going into Baltimore 4-game series. I think if Baltimore, takes a series, I think it's gonna be like establishing, hey, Baltimore's here to stay. Last year wasn't a fluke. And then if the Yankees take the series, I think, it tells basically the whole AL East, like, hey, the Yankees are back. So I just think, the what's on the line there with first place of the division that's been so good. Um, I think gives me that's what makes it the series of the week for me. And then you said you're upset, so I'll say mine. I got the White Sox over the Twins. White Sox swept the Rays over the weekend. Um, I don't know if it might be crazy to say they're hot, but they're they're on a winning streak, which is something I never thought I'd be saying in 2024. Um, and why not? I say why not? Why don't I pick them for an upset over the Twins? Twins, they're hot too. Um, but the Twins, I don't know. I feel like the White Sox are just playing right now with house money. They're already like double-digit games out of first place. Just a little flyer pick for me.
Yeah, my series or my upset of the week, I have the Astros over the Guardians. I know you guys have been saying using the Astros for the last few weeks, but I feel like they're bound to turn around. Their offense kind of got hot in Mexico, and
And
I
welcome
think
to the club.
that'll kind of boost them. I'm not too confident in their pitchers. They got Hunter Brown, Mr. 10 ERA, going up against Carlos Carrasco, who's also he's not that good. Like he's kind of hit
Carlos
like
Carrasco is still in this league.
he's kind of like Unk status now. So let's see if
Unk,
Hunter Brown
he's like grandpa
let's
status
see if Hunter
now.
Brown can turn around and kind of leave that horrible performance that we saw against the Royals a couple weeks ago behind.
Bro,
But
Carlos Carrasco was considered old in 2K13,
for
bro.
real.
Hmm.
Actually, they got Astros got two guys with around 10 ERA starting in this series. So
Yeah, I hope by the
hopefully
end of the year,
their offense can just power them through. Because yeah, the pitchers are not looking too good.
I hope by the end of the year, Thomas and I will make a compilation of how many times we said that the Astros would pick it up. And I think we'll get like a good 20-minute video out of it.
Man, I mean, it's a weekly thing at this point. It might as well be a segment, you know. Hey, this is the week. This is the week.
Until the Astros turn it around.
This is the week the Astros turn around. I
So we'll
mean,
move on to the next segment. Will the Astros turn it around? Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
it, we've got hope this time. At least, they are. It's not like, on a downward trend. They're coming back from Mexico with a sweep. I mean, last week when we were saying this, I think they had 1-4, 1-5 over the week. So hey, there's progress. Maybe it's a 500 week for the Astros this week.
Uh,
Never know. And then for the lock of the week, I have the A's over the Marlins. The A's, young team, no expectations. They're playing fun. They're playing, loose. Mason Miller's been electric. Their pitching staff's been really good. And then the Marlins, they're not great. I think this is a series where the A's, kind of take one here. They've been playing, around 500 ball over the last few weeks. This is an opportunity. I see a sweep here too. The
wow.
Marlins just don't have any energy.
Wow.
It just seems like they're so dejected. Like the early
Wow.
start just
Yeah.
looks terrible.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Gonna have to, wow. Can't
Yeah.
do my MLB The Show 23 cover artist Jazz Chisholm Jr. like that.
Um, yeah, for my upset of for my lock of the week, I have the Cubs over the Mets. Um, I mean, they already won game one, just now. Uh, Edwin Diaz kind of blew a save there. Or no, I was gonna save, but
Yo,
he blew
leave it up
it.
to the Mets to no hit
Yeah.
through 8, bro, and then
Yeah, let's
lose
talk about
3
that.
to
Luis
1.
Severino, old Yankees legend,
2017 Yankee legend.
throwing a no hitter through like what 7 innings or something, and then he
Yeah.
gives up a run, and then Edwin Diaz blows it, and the Cubs win. Yeah, I mean, looking ahead, I just think that pitching wise, I mean, Cubs got it. I think Imanaga is like that's like guaranteed win right there.
Yeah.
And their other starting pitchers have done pretty good as well. Mets are gonna Met, like, and
They're gonna, man. I love it.
Cubs have been pretty hot this year. I'm pretty high on them. So yeah.
For my lock of the week, I have Cleveland beating the Angels. Like Thomas said about his lock, like Cleveland's just playing loose and they're playing fun. Like this guy Steven Vogt brought new life to this club. I mean, the Guardians are playing really entertaining baseball right now. Brotherly power that's beating everyone. No, I'm just kidding. But Cleveland's playing great baseball. It's kind of like unexpected from my end, honestly. I don't know. I didn't like expect them to be like a bad team, but I also didn't expect them to play this well per se.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, they got it. I mean, if they make a move or two, they could really contend, like for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I thought their offense was like kind of mid, to start the season, but I mean,
Yeah. I mean, everyone's just hitting. They're doing their
yeah,
part. Like,
we need more guys like Steven Kwan in the league. Pure contact hitter, not afraid to lay a bunt down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, small start.
Guy wants a
Really.
jabroni, bro. This guy wants jabronis in the league. No
Hey,
way.
but you wouldn't be complaining if he was on the Mariners
Nah, bro. Yeah,
Imagine a guy
true.
who can get on base at like a 330 clip, you
and
know?
not strike out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
A guy
Nah,
ball in play in like with the runner on third, with like no outs in the infield back.
I'd rather take 9 Eric Sims than 9 Steven Kwans any
Nah.
And
day of the week.
they'll be swinging out their shoes trying to put a 2-run bomb.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Every AB is an opportunity to hit a bomb.
Yeah, that's interesting mentality. Let's get into the bulk of the episode. So we are gonna do our 1 month awards. We have our top three for the main 6 awards. We can dive right in. So who do you have as your third place finisher for your AL MVP? We'll go from third to first.
Do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? I can go first.
All right, you can go first, yeah.
I have for third. I have Gunnar Henderson. I mean, yeah. Do we want to go in depth into this?
That's what I have at third.
Yeah.
I think best. I guess they're the second best team in the AL. They or I guess like winning percentage wise, they're the second best team in the AL. First place right now after winning the game against the Yankees, and at the leadoff spot. I mean, dude's just raking right now. Um, Pull up the stats real quick. I think he has 10 homers. Um, he's batting 289, so almost at 300 clip. 23 RBI, 6 stolen bases, 984 OPS. This power surge is what got him at number 3 for me. I didn't expect this out of Gunner. I thought he was gonna hit for average and then let the power bats in the middle, kind of do their thing. But Gunner having like the leadoff power, I think it's really good for him and really scary for the rest of the AL.
I mean, he's so young. Like bro's gonna be a haunting presence in this league for years.
Yeah. So I don't know who Jeff for number 3.
I am kind of conflicted. I don't really know who to put. I think I have Gunner. I might have Gunner at 2.
Okay.
So I might
Just to
go.
talk about the Orioles for a sec, they recently sent down Jackson Holiday back to AAA.
Oh yeah,
Dude was like freaking 1 for 21 or
He
something.
had 2 hits and like 50 at bats or something like that. But
I did want to bring up the question, like since we're on the topic though, like is overhyping like players like that, like is that like a detriment to them?
I
Or
mean,
is it just like the lights are too bright kind of thing for
I think
him? Like,
they
and if he
got
was good enough, he would handle it.
they got to be able to live up to the pressure. And like if they don't, then it's like they're so young. They have so much time to like get better at that stuff. And so it's not like sending him back down. That's not gonna like ruin his career. It might have the potential to, but I think he's too good to like let that affect him. I think he'll
Yeah.
maybe not this year, but maybe next year he'll like break out or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but
I mean, I think there's kind of a false expectation. I mean, there's like been some guys, come in out of nowhere, hit pretty well to start their careers. But with these top prospects, a lot of them they take a year or two to transition, Like a guy who comes to mind is Vladdy. Over his first 2 years, he was a good power bat, but he wasn't really a consistent hitter. And then in that third year, he broke out, second MVP. I think, also I think they brought him up too early. He's only 20, which,
that's like literally like
yeah,
us.
that's like our age. And I think if they would have just like been more patient, let him sit down in the minors for maybe half a year, no, full year, I think, he would have been able to like develop a little bit more and like kind of mature a little bit. I think having so much hype around him and then bringing him up so early in the season, like what he did in the minor leagues really wasn't like a real sample size. It was just kind of like a like a hot start, and we've
Yeah.
seen hot starts fizzle out. So I think sending him back down. I think they're gonna get another look at him. Let him kind of like get his feet under him. Um, and really kind of establish himself as like as the top prospect that he is. You know, like he's only been in the minor league system for less than 2 years, so he hasn't really like um taken every step like normal prospects do. So yeah, I think sending him back down is the right move. Let him get his feet under him, like kind of away from the lights, and let him like do his own thing.
Um. Anyway, so hey, so my for my third place AL MVP, I'm actually going with Bobby Witt Jr. Um, am I just biased because he's in my fantasy team? Maybe, but I mean, he's tied for the lead in AL in stolen bases. He's like, I think um he's hot in the top for like OPS, slugging, on base. He's kind of just like a do it all kind of guy. He leads the league in triples. Like,
True 5-tool player.
yeah, for his
Mhm.
good defense, he's hella fast. Like,
It's fun to watch.
yeah. And then I think I'm gonna have Gunner at second.
Okay.
Yeah, for me, I got Trout at second. Or sorry, not Trout. I got Soto at second. I mixed it up. Oh, I guess that's my first then, Mike Trout. But yeah, I got Soto for second. But Trout, I feel like since we're on the topic, he's really like this is kind of like like oh, like Trout's been declining in the past, like declining over the past few years. He's not like the same young like explosive player he once was. I mean, he's proving everyone wrong. I mean, he is still Mike Trout, and he's still doing what he does. It's just a shame that his career's being spent in Anaheim, where they're not making it to the playoffs at all. But I mean, he's still Mike Trout. He's still the best.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I have the same order just flipped. I have Trout second, and then I have Soto at first. And the real thing for me was like team record. I know in baseball it doesn't really matter, but with Otani, he like even on a bad team, it took like historical seasons for him to win the MVPs. And I think with Trout, he's leading the AL or leading the league in homers, or tied for the lead in homers, and like he's doing his thing. But the fact that like nobody around him is getting on base, all of like, and he's not hitting for average like his MVP seasons like he used to. So I mean, I think Trout's back, and like I think everyone in the league's happy that he's back. But I gave it to Soto just because he's been carrying the Yankees. The Yankees offense, like I mentioned earlier, hasn't been clicking. Rizzo's finally gotten back. Judge had a pretty good series, but throughout the first month of the season, it's been all Soto. Every time Soto's been up to bat, you can trust that he'll get a lengthy at bat, get a base hit, or work a walk, work a long count, and even if he gets out, it'll be productive out. Long fly balls, or just seeing like 6 or 7 pitches in and at bat. And like he's been the offense for the Yankees. He's been catalyst for like multiple comebacks, and 7 homers. I think 23 RBIs, 24 RBIs. Yeah, he's been amazing. That's my first month MVP, AL MVP.
All right. Um, I have actually have Jose Altuve as my MVP. As much as I hate to
Oh,
say it.
oh,
Um, I mean, if you look at the stat leaders, like it may not reflect on the Astros record, but he is like at the top in pretty much every category. He's second in average. He is tied for fifth in homers with 7. He's leading the league in OPS. He's second in slugging. He's second in on base. Right? He's like fifth in runs. Like I mean, he's got pretty much everything. He's been their leadoff hitter for like 10 years. He's kind of like,
I feel like it's the same thing year after year, though.
yeah, he's just such a consistent hitter. Um, I mean, I think if he keeps that up, and he'll probably win MVP.
I think he's got a case of the Troutitis.
Trout, yeah, he's kind of
Troutitis.
he only has 9 RBIs. He
Yeah,
has 7 homers and 9 RBIs, which is pretty crazy.
All the
But
unks want to show these young bucks how it's done.
I mean,
yeah. I mean, 7 homers, 9 RBIs. I know we talking about Trout. Trout has 10 homers, 14 RBIs. Uh, Altuve's got it worse. He got 7 homers, only 9 RBIs. So bunch of solo shots in there, I guess.
yeah. I guess since he's a leadoff hitter, not many opportunities with guys on base. But
Bottom of the Astros order just not getting on
that's
base, I
true.
guess. Before we move on, just want to give a shout out to Dolis Garcia. I think he had a hot stretch. He would have been fourth or fifth on my MVP list. I think he just got like I think the fact that Gunnar had such a hot start kind of knocked him off, but I thought about putting him on at number 3. Anyone else you guys want to give an honorable mention to?
Arnold mentioned to Salvador Perez. This old ass dude is leading the AL in batting average somehow. He has the most RBIs. He's second in OPS. Like,
This is
Third
the
on
Unks
base.
year.
yeah, I mean, I know all he does is hit. Like, he's not fast, can't catch. All he just does is drive and runs. But I mean, he's got a good Royals team around him too, and he has a lot of opportunities to do so. I mean, yeah, good for him. He's been pretty good.
I would like to give an honorable mention to Jordan because that dude I feel like does not get like the amount of love he deserves.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I understand he's either like 4 for 5 with 2 home runs or 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts, but dude, that he is a freaking pure
Seems like
hitter.
every time he plays the Mariners, he's always 4 for 5 with 2 homers.
Yeah, well, I mean, he probably eats his Wheaties before or something. So,
All right, we move on to the NL MVP. So, who do you guys have for your number 3 spot at the NL MVP?
Let's see.
for my number 3 spot, I have Ronald Acuna. Um, he's having a slow start, but he's Ronald Acuna. He's gonna pick it up, but I just don't think he's like gonna have like an outstanding year like he did last year.
Interesting decision.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he's been off to a very slow start actually, but let's see. For my third place, I'm gonna go with. I guess I'll go with Otani. I'll go with Otani for 3. Um, I think the NL MVP race is like super tight. I think any one of the 3 guys I have could be number 1, but I think it's just a case of like his stats are like slightly worse than the other 2. Like I don't know, they're all like MVP worthy. It's I mean, really this year is like, can he prove that he can just purely hit like, and
I mean, he's proving it right
I
now.
mean he is hitting, but yeah,
Yes, he is hitting.
I
Where
gotta
they're
give
all hitting,
I
all the
got
players hit.
Otani for 3.
Um, I'm between 2 guys. I'm gonna give a nod to Ketel Marte. Um,
Oh, Marte.
so he's batting 311, 5 homers, 15 RBIs, stolen base. The Diamondbacks haven't started off hot, but Marte's still been pretty good this season. I thought about Marcell Ozuna. I mean, he has the power stats. I just think he's kind of overshadowed by
There's no way he's gonna keep that up for the whole year.
yeah, and I think kind of overshadowed by
Absolutely
speed.
not.
Like, there's so many guys around him that like are doing their thing, and I mean, I know historically, like having like teammates who've been doing their thing, like hasn't really made like been a big like topic of conversation. But I just think like Azuna's star is kind of like fluky in my opinion. Um, and I know it's only a 1 month, it's like the 1 month awards, but I think Ketel Marte has been like more valuable, if you know what I mean, like to his team versus like Ozuna, like for the Braves.
Alright.
Moving on to number 2. I'll go first. I have Otani. Made a last second switch. I think Otani's been good, but it's not like what he's been doing with the Angels. He's still batting 341. That's amazing. Leading the league in doubles, second in hits. But you can make the argument that Otani's also overshadowed by his teammates, but I think Otani has better stats than Ozuna, and I think Otani's been as advertised.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. So my second place, I have Marcell Ozuna. I mean, if we're just looking at the first month, this dude has been raking. Like, we looked at his baseball savant page
Yeah.
like a while ago, but this dude is like 100 percentile like everything. Like, I mean, he's batting 330, so it's not like he's not like he's just hitting power. Like he leads NL in homers, RBIs, slugging. I mean, so this dude is just a hitting machine, you know. Obviously, I don't think he's gonna keep it up for the whole year. I don't even know how he's still in the league. I mean, I swear this dude has had more like stuff like outside of baseball going on and like than other guys who have been like kicked out of the league. But you know what? Yeah, whatever. But Sonny, what about you?
I mean, I got Otani.
Yeah. Anything to add on, like, I don't know, Tony?
I mean, I feel like with like him not having as elite stats, it just comes with like being on a better team, I guess,
Mhm.
and him hitting in like that two spot role rather than like a three or a four maybe where he could like drive in more people. I mean, I feel like he's just not getting as much opportunities to drive people in, but he's still getting on base, and he's got like 5 stolen bases this year. I mean, he's still like productive player. I think that role suits him better, to be honest. Anyways,
And then
Mm.
for number one,
Let's just all say it on three because I think we all have the
uh
same
huh,
one.
uh huh.
three,
3, 2, 1.
2, 1,
Mookie
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 Betts.
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 Yup. Yeah.
Um, who wants to
That
do the
dude is
honors?
that dude is hitting 387 right now. Okay, 387. Like he's nearing
Actually, it's actually
400.
377.
377?
377.
It's actually three. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he
Went down.
fell off. He fell off with
No. He's got like what 8 stolen bases, 6 home runs.
bases.
I mean, he's a 5 tool also.
Yeah.
Carried my
20
fantasy team to a win over Sanha here.
Oh my god.
got like 46 hits. I mean, 46 hits and 119 at bats. This guy's nearing the like halfway almost.
Crazy. Yeah.
Just insane. Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
he has
it's
a
great.
chance to win MVP like throughout the whole season.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's even crazier to think about how much like production he puts from like the leadoff spot too.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he drives in a ridiculous amount of runs for a guy who like is supposed to hit with like nobody on base.
Yeah.
He's already at 23 RBIs this year. It's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Any last shout outs before we move on?
Um,
Yeah,
Alex Bowman, he's been doing pretty
Yes.
good. You know, player of the week. Been raking for the Phillies.
Trey Turner
I
before.
feel like Will Smith is overshadowed by like how good the top three are on the
Yeah.
Dodgers.
Yeah.
All right.
CJ Abrams has been having a good year too, low
Hearing the
key.
Breakout
Nationals.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the pitching awards,
Yep.
right?
So we go with AL Cy Young. Who do you guys have for your number three? I can go first. My number three is Tanner Houck. He, I think, I mean, he's been a part of like this Red Sox rotation that's been absolutely like amazing. Contention for top rotation in the AL, maybe second to the Mariners. Um, but 1.6 ERA, 3-2 record, which is unfortunate. 41 strikeouts, 39 innings pitched, 31 in the third innings pitched. Um, yeah, I think that one start, the CG, the Maddox, that one's kind of like his Cy Young like candidate moment, and yeah, it's my number three spot.
I also actually have Tanner Houck, my number three. He has been lights out. I mean, the last three starts, he's been like crazy good. Yeah, carrying my fantasy team as well. Love to see it. It's kind of crazy how good this Red Sox rotation has been. I don't think many people expected that. Yeah.
I'm on the same as you guys. So I mean,
Number two,
I'll like to go.
okay.
I have Logan Gilbert. I
Yobi.
think I feel like you can just interchange him with Bryce Miller low key because they've been kind of equally as good. Like they actually have almost identical stats. Um, but so I guess I'll go like 2A, 2B. I'll go Miller or Gilbert. I just think Gilbert has had like more successful seasons in the past, so like he would be I see him as more likely to keep this production up. But he's been lights out for the Mariners. I mean, we all thought it'd be Castillo and Kirby, but those two have actually they got off to a really slow start. But Gilbert's been holding it down. Um, yeah, love to see it. Hopefully, he can. All five of them can continue to do good. Um, what about you?
I got Tarek Skubal. I mean, that's it's like what 4.0, 1.72 ERA, like a .74 WHIP. I mean, like he's like pretty much a guaranteed win every time he starts. I mean, the most runs he's given up this year is like two in one game, I believe, or four actually against Oakland, but they still won the game.
I'm interested to see who you guys have for your winner then, because I'm down to two guys, and I kind of thought it'd be down to these two guys, but I guess I'm wrong. My number two spot, I have Renault Blanco. Um, fifth, tied for fifth in WHIP. Tied for fourth in ERA, and I mean he has 3 wins, 3-0 record. Even on a bad or not bad, like on a slow starting Astros team, he's still like the bright spot on the team in terms of pitching, and he's kind of holding the fort down, doing his best to like keep whatever the Astros have like afloat, whatever hope they have afloat. Um, yeah,
Yeah. Number one now.
yeah, number one.
So for my number one, I have Tariq Skubal. Um, just like Sonny said, he's been absolutely lights out. He's got nasty stuff. I mean, he's throwing like 99, 98, like nasty changeup, nasty slider. Like he's been crazy good. He was, I was really high on him before the season. Um, he's on my fantasy team too. Uh, and I'm glad to see that he's living up to my dreams, you know.
Sonny, who do you have for your winner?
For my winner, I have Logan Gilbert.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
And I think it's interesting to talk about Logan Gilbert because I feel like he also is like overshadowed a little by the rotation. Like when you talk about the rotation, it's like Castillo and Kirby, like the 1-2 punch. I mean, like we understand, like yeah, top rotation in baseball. When you like really talk about it, you talk about those two the most. But Logan Gilbert is like he's just the kind of guy like when he goes out onto the mound, like you know he's going to give you 6 to 7 innings of like 1 to like 2 run baseball at most. I mean, he's got lights out stuff. His splitter is absolutely disgusting. Like, and his motion is like it's like built for like his pitches,
Yeah.
like for his like downward moving pitches, like a very up and down motion. I feel like, and I mean, he's been dominant.
He's a
Like
workhorse.
that's what I'm saying.
He leads the league
He
in innings pitched.
he competes.
So,
Like I like when a coach tells like a kid on a mound in club ball to like go out there and compete. Like that's literally just what he does.
Mhm.
It's the best way to describe it.
yeah.
Yeah, and I have the same one as you, so I have Turk Skubal as my winner. Um, he's league leader in WHIP. His ERA is tied for, or he's number six in ERA. Um, batting average against third, and I mean he's breaking out. This guy was this guy's been amazing this year. You kind of hit on all the points earlier, but yeah, that's what I have Turk Skubal. Shout out Jose Barrios though.
Yeah.
He was a guy who I thought about putting in there. Um, tied for tied for the lead in wins, leading the league in ERA. Doesn't have the strikeout numbers, but 1.04 WHIP. Yeah, I think he deserves to be on this list. Just there's a lot of like good pitching going on in the league right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, move on to the NL Cy Young.
Hello, Soyoung.
I can go first.
Would you like me to go first?
Sure, go ahead.
For my third pick, I have Logan Webb.
Mhm.
I feel like he's off to a slow start, but Logan Webb is like he's like the one of the most reliable starters in this league. I feel like I he's gonna pick it up for sure. That's all I gotta say.
Alright. My third, I have. Man, I'm gonna go with Tyler Glass now. That's my third. Uh, Compared to my other two guys, he does have like a higher ERA and stuff like that. But I mean, he's also like a workhorse. He leads the league in innings pitched, um, like strikeouts. He's got nasty stuff, obviously. Like he's holding down that low key shaky Dodgers rotation.
It's high key.
He's he got he's showing what he was advertised for. Yeah, I think he'll pick it up. I mean, I think he'll be around like these numbers for the whole year. So that'll be like, I mean, that's pretty good.
Mhm. My number third, I have Shota Imanaga.
Yeah.
Um, he's been amazing. Other than his last start, he's undefeated. Well, he still is undefeated. He's 4-0, but tough start against the Red Sox. Didn't get the loss on that. Has a 0.98 ERA. I think it was like 0.74 before the start against the Red Sox. Doesn't have the high strikeout numbers, but point 0.8 WHIP. He's he's come over to America and just dominated. Been amazing. I saw an interview during Sunday Night Baseball. He was talking about how like the teams are facing for the first time, so he wants to see what happens after a couple of times like facing the teams. But a month in, when you only face the teams once, I think he's my number three for Cy Young.
I
What
didn't
about you?
realize that he wasn't qualified for all the categories
Hmm.
like ERA and stuff, so I didn't
Yeah.
see him on there. But definitely honorable mention for him too. Then
Hmm. I can go with number two. This one I kind of debated between two guys, but I ultimately put Ranger Suarez as my number two. Um, this is not against him. He's 5-0. Carrying. He's been a part of like a great Phillies rotation. Philly's been really hot. 1.32 ERA, so he leads the NL in qualified. Like for qualified pitchers, he leads in ERA. 41 innings pitched, 40 strikeouts, .63 WHIP. Amazing season for Ranger Suarez. Yeah, this isn't the guy that like you expected out of the Phillies rotation to be a Cy Young candidate, but he's stuck out.
Since you mentioned it already, I'm just gonna mention mine. My two was Shota, and my one was Ranger.
Hmm.
I mean, I know it's like 1 month predictions, but it probably won't even hold up anyways.
Yeah,
But this dude, Ranger Suarez, is literally shoving every single game I see him on MLB Network. It's actually
yeah,
crazy.
I have this. I have the same number one. I have Ranger. Um, but for number two, I was Zach Wheeler, other Phillies pitcher. Many thought that he would be the best pitcher. Um, and you could argue that he is. I mean, he's been like pretty much equally as good as Ranger Suarez. Um, Pretty interesting that he's at three losses with a sub two ERA, and a sub one WHIP. But I guess he's just not getting that run support. Obviously we know he has nasty stuff. Uh, He's got 46 strikeout, 37 innings, .88 WHIP. So um, I have him as my number two, and Ranger Suarez pretty much is a little bit above that, a little bit better in every category. So I just have him as number one. Um, yeah.
so my number one is Tyler Glasnow. I'm now just realizing that he has an extra start because of that Soul Series.
Yeah.
So, quick pivot. I'm gonna have Glasnow as my two, Rangers versus one. The reason why I had Glasnow ahead originally is because he has more strikeouts and he has more innings pitched. I forgot that the Dodgers started the season in Seoul, so that point is kind of null now because he did have an extra start. But Glasnow's been amazing. Back to the Tampa Bay days, high strikeout guy, um, workhorse, and I think taking the year off last year really I think kind of like helped him reset. I saw a couple interviews about him talking about like what happened after the sticky stuff and like his injury. I think he's back, and I think he's figured out, the new baseballs and, being the guy on the Dodgers rotation. So yeah. And then we can go to the AL Rookie of the Year. Um, for my number three, I have Wyatt Langford.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, the among the qualified rookies, I think Wyatt Langford's been like one of the best in terms of like average, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I don't have the numbers exactly, but I'm pretty sure Wyatt Langford's been getting on base, if I'm not mistaken. He- you guys want to like go next?
I got nothing to add to that.
Um, yeah, same.
Yeah. 325 OBP. Only batting 248, but finally got his first career homer.
It was inside the Parker.
Yeah, instead of Parker, and kind of recency bias because he's been getting on base a little bit more often over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did not prepare three rookies.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of have Evan Carter just because this like rookie class kind of like
I don't really
AL
know.
side is not that strong.
AL side is not strong. I mean, like like one of the guys that's like competing for is Colt Keith, and this guy's hitting like 161. I mean, I'm not dogging on him; he's a rookie, but the AL like rookie of the year race isn't very strong right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of guys haven't even come up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing, to be honest.
Yeah. Uh,
What about our number one then? I
Um,
mean, we all have the same one, right? Do
three,
we?
2, 1.
Colton Cowser.
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's the only rookie that's really been like
Yeah, that's what I'm
standing out on the AL
saying.
side. Evan Carter's my number two. Just
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
who's your number two? Is it Wyatt Langford?
Mine?
Yeah, your number
No, it's
two.
Evan Carter.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And I
So
have
we have the
Wyatt
same.
Langford at 3.
Yeah, we pretty much have the same order then.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, Colton Cousins is the only guy who's like actually been good. Or no, I don't say good. I say like he's the only guy who's like really like stood out.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, it's super early in the season.
It is, yeah.
That's why it's the 1 month awards.
Yeah, but just to kind of go through his stats real quick, batting 310, 375 on base, 6 homers, 18 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, and 11 runs.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah,
What about to the NL side?
and
Yeah.
outside,
And also
this
it's
is where it's
much
interesting.
stronger, yeah.
So, when you guys want to give your number three?
For my number 3, I have Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Struggled a little bit coming into the start. Feel like he hasn't stood out enough to be the number one contender though. But I'll give him number 3 for sure.
Yeah, I'll go real quick, just because I also have Yamamoto as my three. I think the inconsistency is what like kind of drops him down a little bit. He's had flashes of starts where it's like this is the guy who the Dodgers like shelled out for, and then there's been starts where it's like, okay, well, is Yamamoto like, is he gonna be able to like sustain himself in MLB? I think it's too early to like really make a decision. So his inconsistency, I'm just gonna say like puts him at three, but yeah, that's what I have.
I actually have Michael Bush as my three. He's been kind of off to a hot start for the Cubs. He has 6 homers, batting 270 with 840 OPS, 17 RBIs. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know about this dude. He's just been really good. I don't know if he's gonna be able to like keep up that start, but you know, uh, props to him for getting off to a nice start. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I have Yamamoto too.
I have Bush at 2.
I also have Bush at
Oh,
two.
too.
Yeah. No, number 1.
We got I think do we all have the same person?
I think we do.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Shota.
Even now again.
Yeah. I mean, that dude is just like It's like a .98 ERA, right?
He's been crazy.
Yeah, .9. He was at .7 before the Red Sox start.
Yeah, I mean it's unreal. Like that dude, like you said before, whoever said that, he's a guaranteed win.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like the Cubs could struggle and it's still like almost a guaranteed win in my opinion. I mean that dude is the pinnacle of control over
Yeah. Bro's like the
like
Japanese, like he's like the pinnacle of like Japanese pitchers. Like,
yeah, control over like power.
yeah, his fastball is
Yeah,
like the most value, like most like run value or something like that, like out of all like pitches or something like that. But
yeah.
I don't know.
So kind of a late little
Huh.
stat of the day. Also, it's not really a stat, more of like a something I heard. I mentioned this like earlier, I forgot what episode it was, but Todd Frazier was talking about like when like Japanese, I guess like any like pitchers come over from overseas, straight to the MLB, their fastball is like a bad pitch, and like it's really hittable for MLB hitters, just because like when you're in the MLB, you've seen fastballs like up to 100 miles per hour, and like without like great movement, it's not really something that you can like blow by hitters. You might be able to get away with it once in a while, but hitters will catch on. So like it's something that like Otani struggled with in his early seasons. After his Tommy John surgery too, his fastball was getting hit, and then he kind of developed like his mix, and then his fastball became like a weapon and became unhittable. But it's like through his splitter, his slider,
And
he
that slurve, bro. That
yeah.
freaking slurve.
So that's what like but like to kind of tie it in. That's what like the worry was with for Yamamoto is that his fastball would get hit and then like he'd rely too much on his like off speed and then it'd be kind of like a predictable pitcher just for like the first couple years, whether it be 1 year, 2 years. Um, and Yamamoto's kind of been like bucking the trend a little bit. He's been able to like been like to sustain starts and his fastball's been good, but Imanaga's been like amazing
Yeah.
with that fastball.
Yeah.
It's not as fast as Yamamoto's in
Yeah,
terms of
it's like
velocity.
93-ish,
Yeah,
94.
but I guess his
But
spin
it's
rate.
pinpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, like spin rate and location. I mean, it does
Yeah.
wonders. Like it just seems so unhittable. And then like being lefty, like you'd think that like the fastball would be more visible, at least like to righty hitters, but like it's not been like that. He's been dealing.
I feel like
And
his motion too, like really hides the ball well.
Yeah.
yeah.
For real, for real.
But yeah, just like kind of wrapping it up. It's crazy how like in like with so much hype being around Yamamoto, Imanaga's been like under the radar at least for the first month and been so great. Um, and I mean, I haven't really seen any like coverage. Like it's starting to be like more apparent, and like maybe that's why he kind of struggled. Or I guess he like had a down start by his standards, by his crazy standards against the Red Sox. But I'm interested to see what goes on with him because, if he wins the Rookie of the Year, the noise is going to be very loud about Yamamoto.
Yeah.
Um,
Just like to say I have Imanaga on my fantasy team.
yeah,
Absolute underrated pick.
yeah. A lot of guys on our awards on our fantasy team.
Yeah. I don't know if that's
Uh,
biased at all, but
Yeah.
we'll take it.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week. See ya.
Yahoo Fantasy, please sponsor us.